Sometime in the 21st century, astronomers noticed something strange. The orbit of Jupiter, of its moons, had changed. They saw an unknown entity, the size of the moon itself, changing their system forever. Next, it was Mercury and Venus. Both became garden worlds. Humanity leapt to investigate, sending a 3-man mission called Ares 1 to meet the unknown entity on its next destination, Mars. What they found was called the Traveler, and it changed humanity forever. This paracausal entity was unbound by the laws of physics and causality, able to move planets, create gravity, and terraform entire worlds. Its power was called the Light, and in its wake, human lifespan tripled, cognitive function improved by miles, and humanity entered into a golden age of science and cooperation. Ancient hatreds died out forever. New social movements took root. It was not a time without its disagreements, but it said that humanity and its machine children tackled these problems with pride, vigor, and a contagious sense of pluralist compassion. The wonders of the Golden Age were vast. This new age of cooperation led to Russian, American, and Chinese space programs working together to expand humanity's home. Together with a few private interests, they built cities across the system, from Venus out to the moons of Saturn and Jupiter. Spectacular AI mines were born, the greatest of all being the war mines. These war mines were vast intelligences, with their hardware occupying entire military bunkers. The weapons they controlled could wipe out armies, with orbital strikes, satellite war platforms, and even singularities. It's uncertain exactly how many war mines were created. 2 are currently confirmed to have existed. Charlemagne's home was on Mars, watching over the research of Clovis Bray and his collaborators, while on Earth, Rasputin was the tacit king of the Russian cosmodrome. While the war mines prepared for the eventuality that there might be something out there as powerful but not as friendly as the Traveler, humanity continued to grow. On Mars, Clovis Bray worked to be at the cutting edge of technology. On Venus, the researchers of the Ishtar Academy threw themselves into studying the ruins that predated humanity by millions of years. Unfortunately for humanity, it was only a matter of time before the Traveler's enemies caught up to it. Not much is known about the darkness, but the destruction it wrought brought humanity to its knees. Even the war mines could do nothing. They fell, one by one, until only Rasputin remained. Knowing there was nothing he could do, Rasputin turned his back on humanity. Everything fell in a series of events known as the Collapse. The world was doomed. In the end, humanity was saved, not by itself, but by the Traveler. The details of the events are not clear, but it's known that in a final, self-sacrificing move, it pushed the darkness back. Knowing that the darkness would one day return, it gave its light to those it deemed worthy, and it created the ghosts to aid them. Then it fell dead and silent, hovering above Earth. Over the centuries, humanity has tried to claw its way back from the brink. Left in the Dark Ages, they salvaged what they could of the Golden Age to rebuild. Alien scavengers known as the Fallen fought them tooth and nail for every piece of scrap. Those chosen by the Traveler were far from paragons themselves in these early days, and often they would become warlords instead of the guardians they would later be. As the Iron Lords put an end to the tyranny of the warlords, rumors began to spread of a sanctuary beneath the Traveler. Over time, many of the survivors gathered in its shadows. Joined by the revived Exos and the reborn Awoken, the refugees began to build themselves a city in the shadow of the light. Building the city was not without struggles. The factions within and the Fallen without have both threatened to bring it to its knees, but still it stood for centuries. Its people aimed to keep the ideals of their ancestors alive, working with one another in the hopes that one day humanity will retake its rightful place in the stars. Not all of humanity flocked to the city, however. Many remained out in the frontier, in small towns, fending off the fallen on their own terms. These people are survivors, in every sense of the word, refusing the protection of the city's walls and its guardians for the sake of personal freedom. Towns such as Palamon stood defiant, only to fall to one threat or another. Others live on, not quite thriving, but never giving up hope. Whether they live behind the walls or out in the wilds, the humans of Destiny are a stubborn people. Descendants of the Golden Age, survivors of the Dark Age, they remain strong through the Dark Night. Well, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys are as stoked for Destiny 2 as I am. Gonna be doing a follow-up video to this later on, talking more about the frontier humans once we see them in Destiny 2. If you have anything else you'd like me to cover, let me know in the comment section, and if you want to see more of these, hit the subscribe button because I will be turning this into a longer series. Big thanks to Beard Grizzly, BA Bossy, Juve, Sarmas, Panda, Sound for giving me the confidence to give this a try. Without them, this probably wouldn't have ever happened. So thank you all for watching. I've linked in the description to their Twitches, their Twitters, their art blogs. And go and check them out because they're all awesome people. And I hope to see you guys next time.